So let's look at this a little bit with the Candida, which I'm going to use the word fungus. People blame fruits all the time for fungal problems, and I just want to throw up. On your kitchen counter, put yourself a piece of cheese, a piece of bread, even whole grain, I don't care, and a handful of grapes. All right, now, if fruits are so bad with fungus, how come I don't see any fungus growing on the grapes, but bread and cheese getting mold all over them? Mold is fungus, right? So you got mold and all over the bread and cheese. Why? Because they're fermented foods. So don't blame the fruits. Blame the breads and cheeses, if anything, but go to causative factors, adrenal glands, sugar metabolism. Fix your adrenal glands. Get your kidneys filtering. Get your lymph system cleaned out, and you will be on top of the world, guys.
So today I'm going to talk about how I conquered Candida with fruit. And you don't hear that too much from too many people, especially if you walk into any supplement store. They will show you the Candida cleanses that tell you to avoid fruit. And fruit has never been part of the problem. Avoiding it is not going to help at all. Fruit has been demonized because of the sugar content, and I think it's refined processed foods that give fruit a bad name. What I did, I became vegan like 15 years ago, and for the first 13 years, I ate a lot of processed foods, high-fat foods, and I drank a lot of coffee. Then I read this book, got me into eating fruit. It explained to me in critical terms just how freaking good it is for us and why we shouldn't fear it in the face of Candida or even diabetes. Now, I'm not an expert on diabetes. I'm not going to try and tell somebody to do what I've done. I would say check out the information. Check with Dr. John McDougall, Dr. Neil Bernard, PCRM.org, Dr. Michael Greger. Check with your own doctor, do your homework, but this is what has helped myself a lot, and I couldn't believe it. I got rid of Candida with fruit. It was about cutting the fat out, and I see if you keep a high fat, low carb, if you keep it high fat, you have to keep it low carb, and if you keep it high carb, you have to keep it low fat. So what's going on with a lot of the processed foods is that neither one is high carb or high fat. They're both high carb and high fat. And then I read that book in 2014 all about fruit, eating lots of fruit, that we're frugivores, and it spelled it out to me very simply. Fat traps sugar in the blood. And once I understood that, things got better. So I loaded up on the fruit, and sure enough, things cleared up. They may have exacerbated briefly initially, but then once the days went on and I avoided the excess fats, no cooking with oil, it worked. It's the fiber that's in the fruit slows the release of sugar into our blood. There's phytonutrients in fruit and special water. The water that's naturally occurring in fresh fruit is special. And so that's how I did it. I just brought on the fruits and the whole foods, basically, and it sorted everything out. And I haven't had those issues since, just except a little bit of mild, and that's when I get into the processed foods. And I go on like a high-fat bender, and so that's going to stop.
And Candida is not something that you can take lightly, unfortunately. It's actually a sign that you are approaching type 2 diabetes. So it's very important to take charge of your health and balance Candida before things get out of hand. I know you may be perceiving Candida as something bad, that you just got to kill it. And this is certainly how I thought about it before I became certified in the area of nutrition and got more knowledgeable in this field. Candida, however, is a backup mechanism. You have Candida and I have Candida naturally. But when your body gets out of balance, this is when it multiplies. So when your blood sugar levels remain constantly high, Candida has to multiply to eat excess sugar. What happens though is that your cells, your precious cells that have to receive sugar, become starved of sugar. So this is when your whole body gets out of balance, your hormonal system. This is where you start suffering from weight gain, stubborn belly fat, and all the other issues that you may be experiencing due to that. So what's the key? What's the answer to it all? Well, the answer is, first, balance the level of blood sugar in your body, and second, heal your body, balance your whole body. So you need to balance the health of your gut, which would have been affected because of candida overgrowth. You need to balance the health of your adrenal glands, the health of your pancreas, and the health of your whole body. So what's the root cause of candida? Well, most people will say that it's actually sugar. Because sugar multiplies in your bloodstream, it must be to do with sugar. However, it's not. It's actually to do with high levels of fat in your diet. And when you constantly have high levels of fat in your diet, even tiniest amounts of sugar, and even tiniest amounts of fruit will result in blood sugar issues. So let me quickly share my personal story of healing and overcoming candida. I followed an anti-candida diet for 2 years, and it was very difficult to maintain. If you've tried it to balance your candida, you know just how challenging it is to starve yourself of carbohydrates and of sugar. And you probably know just how much you crave sugar. I personally was even dreaming about having fruit and having sugar. And I went through periods when I could maintain anti-candida diet for a period of time, and then I just could no longer carry on with it. So I would binge. And I would binge on sugar and carbohydrates because your body is meant to be receiving sugar. You are meant to be supplying healthy carbohydrates and simple sugars into your body to feed your cells and to keep you in balance. So what happened was that I tried all the possible supplements and tinctures, and I've seen so many specialists and all kinds of alternative healing approaches to balance my candida with no real results. And then eventually I came across a high fruit and low fat raw vegan diet. And when I read testimonies of people who healed my very health issues by eating this diet, I thought, okay, I gotta try it. I've got nothing to lose at all. So I did have some fear of eating fruit because it's a fruit-based diet. You eat fruit for breakfast, you eat fruit for lunch, you eat more fruit before dinner, and then you have a salad. And I constantly wondered, isn't it too much fruit? Especially after 2 years of following the anti-candida diet, which makes you fruit phobic. Nonetheless, again, I had nothing to lose. So I just went for it, and I started eating this way. And guess what? It's incredible, right? 2 years on an anti-candida diet, battling it and experiencing frustration and experiencing cravings and binges. High fruit, low fat, raw vegan diet within 3 days. And I'm not joking, this is absolutely true. Within 3 days, my candida symptoms were gone. And that was it. So it was pretty incredible for me to experience such fast results. And I can tell you that I know a lot of people, a lot of my clients have healed candida. A lot of people we know in this lifestyle have healed their candida. And if you're wondering if you've got this fear of fruit, you can do it too. And you can absolutely eat as much fruit as you like on this lifestyle for as long as you keep your fat percentage low. Now, something else that I would recommend you doing is eating a fully raw food diet to balance your candida. This is because if you can imagine, your body is already in a compromised state of health. So if you supply into your body the foods that are super quick and easy to digest, the foods that are highly nutritious and in the right ratios as well, your body's going to recover much faster. So whilst the candida symptoms are going to go pretty quickly on this lifestyle, and I know they will, the health of your pancreas and the health of your adrenal glands will take a little bit longer to balance. So you just got to be patient with it. You just got to keep on going and doing this lifestyle to experience the results that you are looking for. Yes, you can free yourself of Candida. Yes, you can eat fruit to overcome Candida. You don't have to suffer and go on an anti-Candida diet and invest into 150 different supplements and herbs that are supposed to kill Candida. You don't need any of that. All you need is to bring your nutrition into balance and eat foods in the right rations, the right amounts of foods, and ideally be fully raw to balance your Candida issues.